In this video, we're going to continue on with the annual planner template, and I'm going to show you how to make these two new sections where we can enter our movement skills and our energy system development, as well as have areas where we can input notes, and then what our primary focus and what our secondary focus are for these sections. This is going to be really powerful if you want to have some notes on your template so that you can look back and see the types of things that you want to work on in each phase. So let's get after it. Okay, so we're back and we are starting off with the template the way that we left it in the last video. And as a quick reminder of how far we've gotten to this point, we are creating our periodization template. We have a spot for the team logo, all of the coaches and different types of notes along the top, a dynamically updating date bar, as well as a spot to enter in your mesos, macros, etc. And in the last video, we put together this primary secondary focus for our strength qualities. Now for the next section, what we're going to do is create another bar that is very similar to this, but we're going to do this for our ESD and our speed metrics as well. So without further ado, let's get into that piece of the puzzle. The first thing that I like to do, again, is we're going to separate this by a row that is 10. So I'm just going to take row 39 here and I'm going to right click on it and resize, and I'm just going to make this 10. And this is just to make the template look the same the whole way through, so that as we are adding new things, it's actually going to have these separated sections. And I just think that that makes it look a little bit nicer. Now, I know that I'm going to be using a couple cells here to create this. So I'm just going to go ahead and merge these right now. I'm going to call this one primary focus, and the second one secondary focus. And then I also know that I'm going to be using 4 cells or 4 rows down here. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight all of those. And I'm just going to call this movement skills notes. And this is usually the way that I'll design my movement skills section. Now we could easily do something here like we did above, where we use a numbered system, and we could have different skills that we want to work on, and we could categorize them 1 to 5 and which ones are important. There's a lot of ways that we could do this. But when I'm putting together my movement skills sections, what I like to do is just pick the primary focus and the secondary focus, and I can just do that by typing in those boxes. And then in my notes section, I'll just leave myself notes as to what sorts of drills, skills, and things that I want to work on when I'm actually programming this out. So we're going to build this out pretty much the exact same way as we did up here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight all of this area here, and I'll put a thick border around it using the border tool. And I'm just going to use the outer border, and we'll make this nice and thick. And then I'm going to put that same thick border around the top too. So I'll use that tool one more time. And then around the box where we're hiding all of our titles. So I'll put that thick border around there one more time. And then inside of here, I like to have the dotted borders. So I'm just going to select all of these cells here, and I'll go to the border tool, and I'm just going to select the inner borders, but I'm going to make them kind of that dotted shape. So you can see that now this follows a very similar aesthetic to the one above it. And then for the movement skills, what I'm going to do is actually merge these all the way. Okay, so I'm just going to highlight the 4 cells and then merge them, and I'll do the second one as well. And after I've done sort of the second one, I should just be able to drag this all the way to the end. And the only thing that's changed is the outer border on the end there. So what I'll do is I'll just highlight this whole row one more time, and I'll just put my outer border back so that everything matches. And really that's it for this section. What we can do now is, if I was going to add some primary focus, so maybe it's going to follow this hypertrophy block up top, I could copy this, and maybe my primary focus here is aerobic conditioning, and maybe my secondary focus, and maybe I only want for sort of 3 weeks, is maybe speed, linear speed, and maybe after that we want to do something like linear acceleration. And that might be my focus. Now you can see that these sort of sit at the beginning of their cell. So one thing we can do here is if I just highlight all of these cells here and then go to my horizontal align and just choose the middle, that's going to put those all in the middle of the cells. And then finally, for our movement skills, underneath here, while I'm starting to program out these weeks, I might want to merge all of these and then start to type in, again, I'm going to horizontal align these, but then I might want to type in the types of drills that I want to work on. So maybe I want to work on tempo runs for my linear speed, maybe marching and skipping A variations. Maybe I want to work on, I don't know, hill sprints, sled sprints, etc. And I can just leave myself some notes. But if you notice, as I start to type in here, the text comes off the side. So what I can do is just select these cells here and then go up here, and there's a text wrapping tool. And if I just choose wrap text, it will show it right in the middle of the cells. And this is really all that I do when I'm programming out the planning for my movement systems template, or the movement systems portion of my template. So to do the ESD portion, we're going to do almost the exact same thing. So 46, we'll just take and resize it down to 10 to give us our section and hit OK. And then the cool thing is here, what I can do is just highlight all of this, copy it, and I'll just paste it. And I'll just change this to ESD notes. And really, it works the exact same way. So this was a quicker video, but we just added the next two sections in our periodization template. And in the next video, we'll add a section where we can start to program out our volume and intensity, as well as our loading cycles. So I hope this video helps you out. If it does, please like and subscribe to the channel. And if you could share it on social media, that would be really helpful. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you.